There we go. Good morning again, everybody. For those who don't know, this is Rick. Today's date is Tuesday, November 21, 2023. Let's take a look at the market as I see it this morning. First thing I want to do is let's look at the dark chart here. And I don't believe there's any questions. I don't think anybody would particularly argue that we are currently bullish in the market. This is the daily chart. You can see here that the 3 EMA is over the T-line. The T-line is over the trend indicator. And that right there puts us, what I consider anyway, in a bullish trend. If we take a look at the weekly, you can see that the weekly has turned. Looks like 1, 2, 3. We're going on the 4th week here. You can see the weekly here has been up, and then we pulled back for a little rest, and now it's coming back up right in here. So right now, the bulls have the ball. They seem like they're in total control. And what may change that is, one, if we see this trend break, or if we start to see a big breakdown, say in the hourly chart or 3-bar chart, we could start to see a breakdown in those intraday charts. We could also see something like big bearish candle up here that might make you think, okay, the sellers are coming back into town, bulls aren't interested anymore, and that could lead to a little bit of downside. But until that happens, I believe it's best to trade with the trend. Now, when you trade with the trend, there's always going to be these little pullbacks, okay? Right here. This was a pullback, just sideways, but a pullback. Well, today, we've got an inside day at the open, and when we take in consideration that there's some FOMC meeting minutes today at 2 p.m. Eastern, the market could flatten out a little bit and just sort of squat down, and that could start us in a little bit of pullback. Of course, depending on what are in the minutes, the market could pop up or even run down more. Remember that we're getting closer and closer to this, what is it, Thursday? Thursday is a holiday, Thanksgiving. Happy Thanksgiving to everybody. And today's Tuesday, so you have to imagine that tomorrow is not going to be the best day for trading. I would be surprised if today was actually the best day of trading you've ever seen. I doubt it. So things could start to flatten out. Volume could start to weaken up. And we want to be prepared for that, okay? Friday is going to be another day that I believe the market's open half a day, but seriously, is there anything really going to be going on in the market? So take that in consideration, what you might be holding, what you might be planning, how you manage your trades. Next few days could be a little choppy here. All right, let's take a look at a few charts. By the way, did anyone here in the room see the email I sent last night with a little video, 2 stocks, DKS and FLL? I just want to be sure that you got it. I did something a little different. Okay. All right. Cool. Thank you. Glad it made it to your door. Always question email these days. It's such a something. Probably should leave it there. So let's take a look at DOCN. DOCN. Hey, by the way, either today or tomorrow, I'm going to do a pop webinar during the day live for members on the rounded bottom breakout. I don't know if I'll make it today, but I for sure will do it tomorrow, and I'll give you plenty notice. It'd be about 20-30 minutes long, but it will be kind of a pop rounded bottom breakout webinar, okay, strictly for members. So if you're here in the room, you hear this, and like I say, I'll give you plenty notice, okay, and it will be recorded for you, so don't worry if you can't be here. All right, so let's take a look at DOCN. You can see the DOCN. We're not really in a rounded bottom breakout. Why aren't we? because there's no 200 period moving average. That's why. That's what I was looking for. There it is. Good grief. All right, that's the, maybe I just didn't have it dark enough and I couldn't see it. There it is right there. Okay. We are in a rounded bottom breakout, and the target is still up here around this $33, about this green band up here. You can see that we popped up over the 50 period moving average. We've pulled back and tested just like we do on all charts. So here's that little test. Yesterday we talked about a little bit about a T-line bounce. For those that have the scanner, I sent you out my scan for one of my scans for the T-line bounce, and you can see how that's working right here. And we've got a nice T-line run. That's what we call a T-line run. When price moves over the T-line, it stays there for multiple days. You can see how the trend indicator has come up over the 50 period moving average. This puts a target up here about that 33.40 area. So still watching DocuSign, not in it myself, but it still looks like a great trade. Wanted to bring it to your attention. Hey, this morning I noticed pre-market on the scanner that there was some, there's GLD, there's WMP. I noticed AG was popping up a little bit, and AG is showing a little bit of strength in here, at least a little bit of moving around, let's say, pre-market. We clearly have a downtrend here that it still needs to break out of. However, we do have a very nice bottom. We do have that low, high, higher low, bounce right off the T-line. We're over the 50 period moving average, and you can see the 200 up here. So let's keep an eye on AG. It may want to drive some folks into that stock there. Ultimately, though, it needs to break out of that downtrend. Hey, I forgot. I want to come back over here to the dark chart. Let's look at T21.23. Sorry, I forgot to do this. T21.23 on the daily, you can see has turned green, and we now have the trend building in here. And again, this is just my trend. It might not be your trend or what you use it as a trend, but for what I have established as a trend, it's in there. And that's where the 3 is above the T-line. The T-line's above the trend indicator, and the trend indicator is green. So you can see that trend starting to work. Let's back this down to a 3-bar chart, and you can see how that trend is rocking. Let's move this down to an hourly chart. You can see that trend is rocking. And then on the 15-minute chart, and by the way, the 15-minute and 60-minute really are the only two that I look at on this. And you can see that that is also doing a great job. The 15-minute can make you question what you're looking at. It's the 60-minute where gives you the proof. If the 60-minute breaks down, we have a problem. The 15-minute can break down just like a normal pullback in a chart. Choppiness, just noise in the market. That 15-minute can pull back, but the 60-minute is where we really want to hold. Okay, back here. Sorry, had to remember to do that. There's the GLD here. Look how GLD is setting up. So GLD, we could take this top over here and draw a line, and you can see we're right there at that resistance level. So if we start to see that follow through, well, that would point to the bulls wanting GLD to move a little bit higher. You can clearly see the low, the high, the higher low, and we're not quite at a higher high yet, but on a breakout that would give us that higher high. If somebody was looking for targets up here, this might be one way to do it. There you go. So once we get that breakout, target of about 188 and then a target about 192 up there. QGen, this is another rounded bottom breakout. Look, there are a bucket load of rounded bottom breakouts setting up. Rounded bottom breakout can be a big money maker. Some things have to be set up correctly. And that's one reason why I want to do that. kind of a pop webinar either today or tomorrow. I'll do it, and we'll talk about some of the rules, the requirements, things like that. Kind of a refresher for most people. Most of you already know it. But anyway, QGen is setting up here to move up higher. And yesterday, I think it was yesterday, I believe it was, somebody I was talking to. And I talked about most of my trades are set up like a little box. And it's, from moving average to moving average, or from some sort of support to some sort of resistance, something like that. 99% of the time, I use moving averages. If the moving average is not there, then I use price action, which could be called resistance, okay? So, a rounded bottom breakout, you can see what I'm looking at here. Now, the box ranges from the bottom to the top. Doesn't mean I'm going to buy it down there. I just want to draw out my trading range. And then from there, we'll shop for that entry and make money as we move up. So, excuse me. FCX, another one. Not quite around a bottom breakout because we don't have the moving average crossover, but FCX is looking pretty strong here. May need a little rest before it can actually move higher. Campbell Soup may be setting up. Here pre-market, we've got a little hammer. Pre-market, sometimes it means something. Most time I find pre-market means absolutely nothing, to tell you the truth. This is one reason I don't get too excited about pre-market. But nevertheless, you can look at the chart and you can see that, that hammer building in here. So I am looking at Campbell Soup as a trade. And what I'm looking at is maybe Campbell Soup over 4160. And then we can shoot up here to about 45 area. So that would be the trade right up in there. Let's see what else we have. Let me look through some of these. PODD, that is setting up awfully nice. I think that's a beautiful chart right there, PODD. It's a $180 chart. Look, I know some folks can't trade $180 charts. I understand that. That's okay. Don't not look at these charts. These are great educational charts. And the way to be successful at trading is to practice, 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 practice. This is a great chart to practice with. Don't worry about the price, okay? Write it down on a piece of paper. Back in the day, you guys have all heard the story. I actually bought a Monopoly game, took the money out of it, and that's how I traded in the very, very, very early days. Because I didn't really believe so much in a practice account. Because when you blew your account, they would give you more money in there. There's nothing in that practice account that would make you feel like you won or lost. On the other hand, take the money out of a Monopoly game and you physically have something that you can hold. To me, that was the way to do it, and I still think it is. So if you can't trade a $180 stock, don't sweat it. Just use that Monopoly game or write some numbers down, whatever you want to do, and practice. That's how you get good at trading, is practice, practice, practice. And you get comfortable with charts, and you get comfortable with the way charts move and they act and how they wiggle around, and how days like the Fed minutes might affect the market. You learn those sort of things, and then that will help you down the road. So anyway, I do like this chart. May not be a buy today, but I absolutely like this chart right here. So hey, I've got a time for a couple charts if you guys have them, and then we'll call it a morning. How often did I go to jail? Once or twice, perhaps. Once or twice. So does anyone have any? Kevin there says he was in FCX and it ran away. Actually, I think FCX is still a pretty good buy. The only thing is we don't have that moving average crossover, which is one of those important things for the rounded bottom breakout. But price-wise, man, this looks good. I like it. You know, there's the box right there. There's the trade. So Jack is looking at FSLY. Let's take a look at that. I like that chart. Let's flag that. Thank you, Jack. So here's FSLY. You can see the downtrend in it. Red dots right here. Let's go over here and go to the daily. There you go. Look at that. See how that's bearish? All of a sudden, see how that's bullish? So now, once it's bullish, what it is simply a matter of negotiating with yourself, because you're not negotiating with anyone else. You're simply negotiating with yourself. You know, a lot of times I think we think we're negotiating with somebody else because for every buyer there's a seller. I don't disagree with that, but it's hogwash if you think you're negotiating with somebody. You're actually negotiating with yourself. Not you, Jack. I'm just yakking this morning. Maybe a cup or two too much coffee. Beautiful gap up. Excellent. We're just a lot of noise moving sideways. Here we broke out. So let's put this line right there. Here we broke out. So now this becomes the buy area that I'm going to negotiate with myself. No one else. No one else. Now, like I said, I know that for every buyer there's a seller. For every seller there's got to be a buyer. So somebody might think of that, well, you are negotiating with somebody. No, you're not. You're negotiating with yourself where to buy it, when to buy it, things like that. So for me, I think we're in a buy area right now. Actually, to push the button, I like to see a bullish green candle. Here's another thing that I like to see, right, wrong, or indifferent. I like to see the ticker pop up on my scanner. I like to see it there. It just makes me feel better if it's there. So I can't tell you whether FSLY is in there or not. Well, this is not a rounded bottom breakout, and that's a rounded bottom breakout. So what I'm likely to do, and I flagged it, I will put this on my private watch list so that I can see it pop up, and that will make me look at it, and that will make me feel better about pulling the trigger. Anyway, I think that's an excellent looking chart. Super. Nice gap up, great consolidation, breakout. Now it's looking for some buyers right in here. Super, super chart. Let's see, BLNK continuing to the 200. Yeah, BLNK. Nice move up. Here's your pullback. It's still on track to move higher. This is going to be the first target that we've already reached. And now from here, let's see if we can get through that first target, these highs, and reach up to the 200 period moving average. Excellent chart here on Blink. Thanks, Rickster. Okay, let's see. Recent breakout NVIDIA. What do you do? I believe NVIDIA has earnings this afternoon. Is that correct? In which case, do nothing. And that is my opinion about earnings. Seriously, Kevin. NVIDIA has, I believe it has earnings this afternoon. Now, I'm going to repeat that. NVIDIA has earnings this afternoon. What do? Do nothing. I wouldn't be in it. I wouldn't touch it. It's my way of trading. I want nothing to do with NVIDIA. And with that, we'll talk about NVIDIA when we get back in the market here at the bottom of the hour. I'll see everybody at the bottom of the hour when the market opens up, okay? You guys all take care. Thank you.